The American dream is dead. The dream that we're going to find a spouse, have our 2.5 kids, the dog, the dream house, the amazing car, the high-paying job, the high-paying job that we love. That dream that has long been every American, or really anybody around the world, it's dead. When we're raised, when we're growing up, we think that's going to happen, when we're little, and we have the ability to dream. Our future always looks bright, and as we get older, our reality starts to set in. Welcome back to another episode of Sweat Talk. My name is Chad. Every day it becomes more and more apparent that for the average person, the American dream absolutely is dead. And achieving those dreams, it seems like it's too far off in the distant future, and it'll never happen. It can't happen. We turn on the news, or we turn on some sort of social media, and then those confirms that our dream is dead. It gets confirmed. We see that birth rates are on the decline. We see that marriage is on the decline, and for those that do get married, we see that the divorce rates are rapidly increasing and rising. And all of our beliefs and suspicions that we've developed over the course of our adult life are just constantly confirmed. We're able to confirm our bias that we'll never have that. We seek out the information that confirms that bias, so that we don't feel like we're alone, so that we can blame somebody else for the fact that our dreams are dead. But the key there is average. Because I can't stand here and tell you that the American dream isn't dead, because it is. But what I can say is the reason that the American dream is dead is because we allowed it to be dead. We're allowing it to die. We are the ones that are going out there and holding ourselves back, and we are the ones that are not getting married. We are the ones that are not having those children, and we're doing that because of the brainwashing. Think about if you would have gone back, and if you could go back in time, and you could have bought, like, say, Nvidia stock or Tesla stock at like $10, and you could have thrown $1,000 at that, or $2,000 or $10,000 at that. You could potentially have $100,000 in that one stock. But instead of doing that, we went and financed a new car, or we went and leveraged ourselves in some way. And then we decided that we were going to blame somebody else, that because the news told us that the stock market was going to crash, or that these stocks were going to crash because they can't continue to climb the way that they are. And then we turn on the news and we believe that whoever is in office is actually going to change something, or give a shit about us. You can turn on the news right now, these business news channels, and just about every one of them are going to tell you there's a stock market collapse going to come. And so people are panic selling that Tesla and that Nvidia that they bought at like 10, 15, 50 bucks, $100, whatever, because they think that they've lost money. So they're panic selling instead of just holding on to it, and instead of looking at the fact that they're already up 1,000%. That's what average does. Average is going to consistently stay stuck in the everyday life that they hate their job. They're going to consistently go out and finance themselves to the gill, leverage themselves, student loans that they expect the government to pay back, or finance that dream vacation that they say that they deserve. That's what average is going to do. And we find ourselves in this perpetual cycle of nonstop screwing our own lives up, screwing ourselves over, because for whatever reason we need that instant gratification. Does that need for instant gratification, does it come from Amazon because you can get everything next day, or 2-3 days, whatever? Can't really answer that. I don't know where it comes from exactly. Hello. But when it comes to the American dream being dead, we in fact are the ones that are destroying that American dream. We are the ones that are holding ourselves back. We are the ones that are preventing that from happening, because we constantly seek out our confirmation of the confirmation of our bias. And it's because average is baseline in the middle, right? And we think that as we get older, then we need to be more realistic. We stop thinking outside the box. We stop dreaming like we used to when we were kids. People were told over the course of our lives that we need to be more sensible. We need to stop dreaming, or we need to stop daydreaming. and wishing, because it's illogical and it's never going to happen. Most of the time, our own parents, they unintentionally program some limiting beliefs into our minds, and then over the course of our adult lives, then we we turn on the news or some sort of social media, and we experience nonstop brainwashing. We don't even realize that the brainwashing is happening, but it's happening, and we allow it to get deeper and deeper into our minds and prevent us from ever actually achieving the greatness that every single one of us can achieve. You know, we're told that this is like the worst year that's ever existed, you know, as far as like life or investments or anything for that matter. We're constantly told that everything's going to end and everything's going to die. Hello. But then the reality of the situation is this is the best year to be alive. This is the best year ever. This year is better than last year even. Every year is going to be better than the next if you make it that way. You know, think about back to when your parents or your grandparents or your great-grandparents, think about the struggles that they had to go through, the difficult times that they had to go through. And think about how happy they were when you were a little kid, and maybe not your parents, you know, because your parents typically were struggling trying to raise their children. But when I look back and I think about my grandparents, man, they were so happy. They were always happy, always. They never bickered at each other. They never fought. They were always happy. They lived the exact life that they wanted to. But then again, I look at my parents and when I was a kid and when I was a real little kid, man, their life was so stressful. My mom was always just stressed to the gills, and that's a part of life, right? Iron doesn't get hard, or you can't sharpen a knife. You can't harden a knife to where it's useful without throwing it in the fire and beating the living hell out of it. And the same goes for our lives. If your life isn't forged in fire, then it's not going to be worth living for the most part, because you're not going to be strong. You're not going to experience the joys. Because when we have these down moments in our life, if we're able to shift our perspective to the down moments and see them as a good thing, then the whole world can change for you. And I say that because these down times or these down moments that we experience in our life, they're going to make us more grateful for the good experiences that we have. They're going to make us show gratitude for those moments of joy and happiness and fulfillment. And we can use another analogy of our muscles, right? If you want to grow muscles, if you want to get stronger, then you have to strain those muscles. You have to stress those muscles. Our life is no different. Our mental strength is no different. Mental toughness, that is the most usable attribute that any one of us can ever have. I mean, think about the fact that you hear stories of mothers, their children get trapped in a car or something, and they're able to harness that adrenaline and that strength, that mental strength to save their kid from a flipped over car. You know, they're able to like lift a car. I don't think we give enough credit to the mental toughness, because if you're mentally tough, you can make it through anything. You can do absolutely anything. It doesn't matter. But once you realize that the power of that mental toughness, the power of that mental strength, and realize that you have it, that's when you're going to realize that you can achieve anything. That's when you're going to stand up and you're not going to take this shit anymore and you're going to get out there and live your dreams. But none of it is going to happen overnight. It all takes a systematic approach and in a long-term mindset. Like this is a long game. All of it's a long game. Life is a long game. Nothing's going to happen tomorrow. Nothing's going to happen overnight. In order to get past it, we have to approach it just like that. We have to approach it as such. We have to stop seeking out that short-term gratification that's been programmed into us, that we need something right now. We need results immediately. We need something tomorrow. Because in life, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. And I'm saying this as a guy that I was a high school dropout. I was homeless. I was broke. And now I'm one of the top income earners in the United States. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm not saying that to flex. That's on the contrary. I'm saying that to demonstrate that if I can do it, so can you. And there's no reason that you can't, aside from the fact that you're preventing yourself from achieving that. That's literally the only reason that you're not getting ahead. That's the reason why the dream is dead. We have to quit being content with our current situation, and we have to stop seeking validation and blaming somebody else. We have to stop comparing ourselves to other people, because comparison, that's nothing but a trap, because you never see the whole picture. You never see the whole picture. You'll see the highlight reels of somebody on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and you're going to see all the highlights. You know, I pointed out before that these people, they're going out there and taking pictures in a jet. It looks like a personal, like Learjet or whatever, you know, whatever manufacturer. It puts off a persona, or it presents an image that these people own a jet, when in reality there's companies out there that they'll take your picture sitting in their Learjet for $85 so that you can post it as a thumbnail and get clicks on your social media accounts. Because we're not seeing the entire picture. You can't see the entire picture. You're looking through the lens, a lens that's been created and crafted that will never allow you to see the whole picture. So then probably 2 weeks ago, in one of my videos, I mentioned that investing, just starting small and staying simple, you know, investing $10, $100, $500, whatever it is that you can afford, into simple index funds, you know, a taxable account and an index fund through Vanguard, where it's like a total market index fund. So you've got, say, split it 50-50. You got half going into the S&P 500, half of it going into the Dow. And the backlash that I got for suggesting that was unbelievable. You know, people are saying, well, all you're doing is encouraging the exact same people or that are destroying the country, or you're making the ultra rich that are destroying the country even wealthier. I don't disagree with that either. But what we have to consider is what other option do you have? Are you going to take your money and stuff it in underneath your mattress? Are you going to let it sit in your bank account and lose value every single day? Because another one of the American dreams is to be able to buy plenty of rental real estate, right? Like, who doesn't want to have several rental properties? But how the hell are you going to afford that? You know, you can go buy gold, but same thing. All you're doing is making the uber wealthy wealthier. The same people that are destroying the country are getting richer. But without doing that, your financial future is always going to be bleak. And it doesn't matter, you know, because everything in life is all about perspective. It depends on how we look at it. It depends on our perspective, you know, because I'm not here to give advice. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not giving life advice. I'm offering my perspective on a lot of the scenarios and situations that we are going to encounter throughout the course of our life, or the things that I have encountered over the course of my life, and things that I have learned in the last 46 years of my life. But the fact remains that we have to become other than average, you know, because average is broke. For the average person, the American dream is dead. And we have to figure out for ourselves how in the hell we are going to get ahead. How are we going to secure our future? You know, I love my job. I love what I do for a living. And I make fantastic money doing it. But I don't want to do it forever, because it still comes at a cost. And no matter how you look at it, your boss, your employer, they still own you. They still own your life. So how are you going to get past that? At what point in your life are you going to deal with that until you're 90 years old or up until the day that you die? You're the only one that can get ahead in life. I can't do it for you. I could give you all of the one-on-one coaching in the world. I could make the investment moves for you. I could do all of it. But the fact remains that without your own action, you're never going to achieve what you want to achieve. You will never realize those dreams, and you are the only one that can realize the death of your dreams. You know, most people, they don't realize that they can get, you can get paid to go drive a boat for a living. You can go ride a quad for a living. You can ride a horse for a living. You could go hiking. You can shoot guns. You can play video games. You can write code. You can do anything that you want and get paid for it. But instead, most people are going to show up to their regular 9-to-5 job that they hate, and nothing is ever going to change. Nothing will ever get better in their situation until they get sick enough from the discomfort that they experience. Until the everyday discomfort that you experience in your everyday life gets to the point where it outweighs the comforts that you experience, nothing is ever going to change. You're going to stay in the same stagnant rat hole and never get ahead. As long as you continuously go out and seek validation for the bias that you have that confirms that that the American dream is dead, that confirms that you'll never be able to make a decent wage, or you'll never be able to succeed in building your own company, or whatever life goals you have and dreams and aspirations that you have, until you're finally able or willing to and able to get out there and do something about it, nothing in life is going to change, and the American dream will continue to die. And I realize that not everybody dreams of having children, not everybody dreams of getting married, and some people claim that they're okay with being alone. And that's fine. If you know that's working for you, and you legitimately know that, and that's not a coping mechanism for your everyday life and sadness and loneliness, then you know what, good for you. I'm extremely happy that you can live like that. But for most people, when they say that they're happy, they're perfectly happy alone and not needing anybody in their lives, it's a cope for something deeper. It's an excuse and some sort of a validation that they got somewhere at some point in time. So I'm here to tell you that the American dream is not dead. The American dream is only dead inside of our hearts and inside of our minds. The American dream is dead in the media and in the outlets that say that it's dead, and for the people that believe it. For the people that don't believe it, the American dream is alive and well and kicking. And anybody can achieve the American dream as long as they go after it, as long as they're willing to stop seeking that victimhood mentality and validation. As long as they're willing to get out there and make sacrifices and make changes that are necessary in order for them to achieve the dreams and the goals that they aspire to have, and the dreams that they want to realize. So stop going out there and taking the safe route and taking the sensible route and standing up for what you believe in. Quit looking at the news that's saying, well, thousands and thousands of people are going to get laid off, and the housing market is going to collapse, and prices are falling, and the stock market's going to crash. These stocks are going to crash because of such and such is an asshole or whatever. Quit following that shit. Quit buying into that shit. Because it's brainwashing and conditioning, and all you're doing is making the wealthy that are destroying the country wealthier. And you are doing nothing for yourself to get ahead in life. If we want to find fulfillment and if we want to find happiness, it's up to us, and it's solely on us. So get out there and make that choice. Make that decision to put that shit away and quit listening to it. So if you made it this far, do me a favor and go down in the comments section and just write American Dream. That's it, American Dream. And start living the American dream, because you can live the American dream. Everybody can live the American dream. Even people that are in third world countries can live the American dream. You just have to step outside of the box. We all have access to the internet, and we all have access to anything, any information, any knowledge, any way to get ahead that we can realize. I mean, anymore, if there is a thought that you can have inside of your head, you can make it a reality. You can make it a possibility. And the only thing stopping you from being able to make that American dream or make that dream a reality is you. And we need to remind each other that the American dream is alive and well, and we all can earn the American dream. We should all be able to realize the American dream. And it starts with a shift in perspective. It starts with reminding ourselves regularly that the American dream is alive and well. That's why I ask for these short comments, is because they can be powerful in transforming our thought process. They can help us reprogram our minds into believing in something that's bigger than ourselves and something that's positive. And when you see the American dream over and over and over, then it's going to help us reprogram our subconscious mind to see that we can achieve the American dream. Everybody can achieve the American dream. And I ask for these these short comments because, they do a couple of things. They help us reprogram our subconscious mind, and they also help the channel grow, because every single time the algorithm sees a like, a comment, and somebody subscribed, then it's going to be more likely to push this content out to more people. And then it also affords me the opportunity to possibly say thank you, and it shows me who's here with me. It shows me who's in this long game, this fight that we call life with me. Who can stick around to the end and realize that they still have enough attention span. Because if you have enough attention span to make it through a 10, 20, 30-minute video, however long it turns out to be, then that means that you're not average. That means that you're above average, because the average attention span anymore is no more than 5 minutes, and it's ruining us. So I want to thank you guys for those super thanks that you keep giving me, and it's incredible, and your generosity is mind-blowing. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for showing up. I hope you guys are showing up for yourselves, and I hope each and every one of you has a wonderful day. Peace.